Hello everyone and welcome back to Driven Mad. What are we doing today then, Dad?
We are splashing out on new tyres.
We are.
So we've done a tyre test before in the past, and that was sort of all seasons versus eco tyres.
Eco tyres.
What we're going to do today is these are worn.
Yes.
We should really take a measuring implement. These Falkens, aren't they?
Falkens, yes.
Falkens.
So we've been recommended Pirelli P0s, Goodyears and Michelins. I've decided to go with the Pirellis next. So
Because they're sexy.
Because they're gorgeous tyres. So I'm excited to give them a try, but we thought as we're getting rid of them, why not try performance versus performance? And we've got a bit of a damp day today, so we can recreate this easily.
Yes, with a bit of a hose.
Yeah. So we're going to try these Falkens. These are Falken Xiex, whatever that is, but they're Falken Xiex. They're 205/40 17s.
And we would say these have been very, because you've done 10,000 on them?
Yes.
And we would say they're very good tyres.
They're very good tyres. But we'll crack on. We're going to do 30, 50 and 70 kilometres an hour and see how good these are at braking distances.
And then we repeat it once we've got the
new tyres.
Pirellis on.
Yes.
Pirellis are nice.
Yeah.
Nice, sounds nice.
Yeah.
But
so,
they've been really good tyres. So this is definitely, however this turns out, it's more of a, if you've got good tyres and you're running close to the level. It's now become wet in Portugal, so we're just heading into winter. So for us, these are legal, but it makes sense as it's the only bit. As I always say to him, it's the only bit of the car that you're going to pay for that actually touches the ground and keeps you safe. So
yes.
I'm a great believer in keeping the tyres new and fresh.
Yep.
So let's see if I'm right.
Right, I'm just going to do the measurements of the tyres. So we'll check the fronts, what we got on there. 3.4 mil at the front, 4.8 mil at the back there.
But we are changing all four. The rears don't really need changing.
No, but we like matching tyres, so we're going to do the rears too. We decided 30 kilometres an hour was too slow, so we're starting off with 50.
Now we'll do a measure. Alright. So that is 6.9.
6.9 metres.
6.9 metres. How are we going to remember that?
Put it up on the table.
Happy days.
So 15 dead.
I've already forgotten what it was. Hello, mate.
Right, so it's been about a week now, isn't it, since we've had the tyres done and on the last bit of the video.
Yes.
I've done one trip to Lisbon, worn them in nicely, so they've had about 500, 600 kilometres on them. And obviously recently I've given them a little bit of a thrashing, so they're ready for our test, I would say.
So, two things, because everyone will want to know. Yes. You said you noticed a difference at I think the obvious would be that the steering's later because the tyre's newer. But have you noticed any other differences? Sound?
Definitely smoother over bumps, I would say. They feel like a much softer compound than those ones. But that, again, could be an illusion. But I don't think it is. I do think they're a bit softer. Didn't notice anything on noise. These ones were quite good anyway. And on handling wise, it does feel like you can feel the tyres really. They just feel a lot softer.
Okay, because one of the things we were told when we got the tyres fitted was, because obviously we got them, the fronts had gone on one side, so we've obviously had the tracking done as well. Yes. But these rear ones, I mean, there's a fair bit of tread left on those, so this isn't a particularly fair test new against worn, because these actually ended up not being as worn as we thought they were.
No, so this is actually going to be quite interesting because they're fairly similar. I mean, obviously these ones are new.
Well, this has still got a lump of tread on it.
For most people, that's probably a good year or two.
Yeah, it probably is a good. That's probably got a year's. You know, it's got 10,000.
Yeah, I mean,
well, maybe not 10,000, but
if the tracking hadn't been out, we could have probably switched the fronts to the backs.
Yes.
You know, me and Dad, we're not quite like that, are we?
Me being me, if you're going to change, you know, we're lucky enough we can do it, so we change all four at the same time. But this, we will do a rotation
Yes, we'll try and keep these ones as long as possible because there's no point, is there? But you can see here the tread pattern. We were just discussing this, how much we like this, and I'll try and get a little close-up of it. But around the side, there's the tread sort of continues and rolls off the tyre on the side.
They've kept the pattern. Yeah, this sort of like fang.
Fangs.
Yeah, this fang shape goes through because obviously they're, just to refresh, they're
Pirelli,
can't get my teeth in.
Pirelli
P0s.
Neros, whatever they are. And I would say that the actual water tracks are a little bit, well, I think they're just deeper, so it's an illusion, but they do look really, really nice. And I didn't realise they looked quite so good until just now when I turned them.
Oh, I tend to buy tyres on tread pattern more than reputation, which is stupid, but
they do look really good. So we've damped our track, as we'll say, our little test spot. So we've damped it because it's a nice day.
It's a lovely day.
So we're letting it run off a bit, so it's similar to the last test, and we'll do a couple of runs and see how it performs.
Let's go. So this will be the 70-kilometre run.
I wouldn't say I went early there. You didn't?
So what was that? That was the 50.
That was 50. This is the 70.
And that's 300 mil shorter.
Okay. And what's this one then?
120 mil, well, which is 120 mils, 3 or 4 foot.
On.
What by?
Something. Oh, so when I did this stop, trying to ignore the fact you've been pooed on. When I did this, it actually did feel more. It just felt like it wasn't. You know when you I don't know how to explain it. You know when you're stopping and you feel like it's taken longer than it should at the last minute. You feel like it should have locked.
Well, I think we know this is a very unscientific test.
Oh, yeah.
The weather's different because you couldn't do it on the same day. We've wet it. We think that's a bit wetter. That's a bit drier. I think, because I don't think it's tyre versus tyre.
No.
I don't think we were warned enough to say this is vastly better because it's new. I think that. And this is down to the tracking.
Do you?
Because the tracking was out because the tyres were worn
on the edges,
on the outer edges of the fronts. Yeah. Quite significant. Well, enough for us to change the tyres, and I think that you weren't getting the full optimum level of the tyre on. No, so I think this is more of a. It's not a criticism of the tyres that were on there, or that our new tyres are fantastic. They're going to be a bit better because they're new, but I think that has got something to do with the fact that the tracking wasn't set out, and I think it's probably, if anyone can take anything away from this, we've got sexier tyres. That's the most important bit. I think you should make sure your car is tracked, because 1, you're wasting your tyres, 2, you're not getting enough tread down, probably costing you more in fuel,
and wearing parts down.
And does it drive better? Is the question I'd ask myself, ask you, because I've not really driven it.
It does, and you have to take it for a spin, won't you? But it definitely, I think it does. So I recommend the P0 Neros. I've got no issue with them at all, and they seem.
We liked the other ones though, didn't we?
Yep, they do seem a lot more soft over bumps. They're less harsh than them.
And at least you've had a decent go in the rain as well.
Yes, I have. So I'm fairly confident they're better for comfort.
Someone bollocked me for fiddling, and I do.
Oh yeah, well, you can't help it.
I'm old.
One of those things. But I do think they're a good tyre, and like you say, if anyone can take anything from away from this, it'd be a miracle. Yeah. But we've enjoyed doing it, so it doesn't matter. But yes, recommend the Pirelli P0s, and it was mainly.
And to keep your car tracked.
And it was just really to recommend tyres and show what we were getting. But quite interesting and fun to do. So.
Okay, so that is it. What's the next one coming up? Will it be your radio?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm not going to say what it's going to be because I still don't know, but I'll have to pick that wisely. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.
Thank you.